What's up, Taxing Tech Crew? Whether you're still gaming on the FX chip, running a 4th gen Intel CPU, or just tired of your PC feeling like it's from the Stone Age, well, this video is for you guys. We're diving into a question that I get asked all the time. Should you buy used tech in 2025? If you're on a tight budget or just don't see the point of overspending for a couple percent gain, this guide is going to break it all down for you. For the parts you can trust, the red flags to watch out for, and the splash plays you might not have considered. Let's get into this video, guys. Let's be real, new PC parts in 2025 are expensive. Entry-level graphics cards are creeping above $300. CPUs that are used to be steals are now $100 more, and motherboards don't even get me started. But the used market flips the script completely. A Ryzen 7 3800X, it was once, actually not even once, still is to this day $215 on Amazon. You can get that used for $80, $100, $90 on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or wherever you buy your local stuff. Stuff is a solid B450 or a B550 motherboard. You can find these going from anywhere from $80 to $100, and you get the high-end motherboards, the stuff that people usually sell to you after they switch to AM5. But it used to be the high-end stuff that when they got it, it costed like $130 to $140. So it's the ones that come with Type-C, Internet 2, M.2 ports, all the bells and whistles you can think of, RGB, everything. You getting high-end motherboards, and a lot of times you're getting them for dirt cheap. Next up is 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. Now you can find these for a great price. You can find these on Facebook Marketplace or offer up for $20 to at most $50 if they get RGB maybe, or depending on what brand it is. But I found sticks 16 gigabytes 3200 megahertz for $30, and that's just easy upgrades. And you can even find some that's 32 gigabytes, and that's usually like $40, maybe $50. So make sure you start looking for RAM. If you're looking to upgrade your RAM and you're not going to AM5 anytime soon, you can upgrade your RAM for dirt cheap. And for $140 to $200, you can still find you a great graphics card that handles 1080p great, and that can still kind of handle 1440p gaming. Some graphics cards are like that are the RTX 2070 Super, and depending on how good you negotiate with somebody, you can find you a good 3060 Ti. And if you're still on a smaller budget, you can find you an RTX 2060. Or if you want to go with AMD, you can go with the AMD Radeon RX 6600 XT. It's like there's a lot of choices that you can find for a budget that can get you where you need to go with your FPS on a tight budget. That's the appeal of buying used. Real world performance at a price that doesn't burn a hole in your pocket. Here's where the real magic happens. The motherboard combos. These are golden for budget builders. When people upgraded to AM5 or Intel 13th gen or 14th generation, they often dump their old AM4 or LGA 1151 platforms in bundles. And this is your chance, y'all, to swoop in and grab some, because these are some of the things that people are having. Some people are having AMD Ryzen 5 5600Xs with B550 motherboards, 16 gigabytes of RAM, all bundled together for you for $200. Like, that's a crazy deal. Or sometimes you might even not find that, but you'll find something like a AMD Ryzen 7 3800X for $150 or something of the sorts. And you can still, and now I understand that if you are somebody that already have a great beefy PC, usually these motherboard combos are not going to do you too much justice because you already got a beefy PC. But if you're somebody coming from an old platform and you just want cheap upgrades to get you to somewhere where your PC is not running slow, these are some great tips that you can use. Go out and get some of these parts, and then you'll be close to being modernized. You don't always have to go out year and year and buy all those new CPUs and graphics cards just to feel like your PC won't get old, because it won't, because these parts last way more than 1 to 2 years. They can last up to 5 years. And these systems aren't slow systems at all. They're fast, they're stable, they're ready for gaming, streaming, editing, and even light 3D work. Make sure you're buying from someone who includes BIOS photos, post-screen shots of at least you getting benchmark tests. Just make sure the PC is functional. At least. That's all you got to worry about. So make sure you ask for clear photos of the socket. Make sure that the thermal face is clean and no motherboard bent pins. But most of the times when you're in person, you're going to check. But if you're ordering from offline like eBay, then ask for these things. But if you're going in person, I do recommend that you do test the parts on site if possible. If you can't, do have them send a video of everything working before you buy it. Next up, these tips, like I was saying earlier in the video, these tips are ideal. These combos are ideal if you're coming from old platforms like Ryzen 1000 or 2000 series. You'll see a night and day difference in some of these upgrades. Use power supplies. Now this is where I draw the line. Unless you know exactly what you're doing, a power supply is one component that when it fails, it doesn't just fail alone. It can fry your graphics card, your CPU, your SSD, or worse, your entire system. Here is the rule. Never buy a used power supply unless you or the seller has tested it out with a multimeter. That means checking the 12-volt rail stability, ripple, or voltage drops under load. And let's be honest, 99% of used power supplies don't include this. Brand new power supplies like the Corsair CX650M or the EVGA 600BR are $60 to $75. That's cheap insurance for your entire build. Your whole build is way more important than just $60 to $70. So use power supplies with no test, just say no. LGA 1200, the platform for Intel's 10th and 11th generation CPUs. It's tempting at first. The CPUs are solid, but the platform, it's a landmine. Here's why I don't recommend it in 2025. My number one reason is the socket is discontinued. It is crazy hard to find parts for it. Crazy hard. Now you can find parts on Amazon, but they're overpriced. And at that point, when you're spending $150 on a motherboard for a platform that's already discontinued and performance is not even that good enough to stay on the platform, you might as well just go to get another motherboard CPU and call it a day. My next reason is most pre-built companies use these as their proprietary boards. So most PC companies already have these chips mass produced, and you can't get a hand on them unless you buy them used, and unless they're hard to find used, frankly, too. Like I have hard times trying to find these boards for my customers that come in when their board fail, because the sad part about it, when these companies do make these boards, they make them cheap, so they're going to fail, and it's just hectic. I have a PC in my possession right now currently that I was helping out a customer with, and he hasn't been able to get his PC to work because he has to wait on a CPU to come. And the CPUs are not too hard to find, but the CPU that he wants is the 11th generation one, and those are way more harder to find than the 10th generation ones. And like I was saying earlier, with the CPU part of it being hard to find, same way it goes for the motherboard. If your motherboard dies, go look and find a replacement that doesn't cost more than the CPU itself. So just keep that in mind when you purchase an LGA 1200. And when you can't find them, they often miss an IO shields and are like the lowest quality motherboards with cheap capacitors. LGA 1200 boards are drying up, and the ones that are left are crazy sketchy. But if you can't find one brand new for a good price and it's good quality, I recommend getting it and holding on to it for dear life. Even though CPUs like the i5-10400 or the i7-10700F still perform well, I suggest looking at others. Don't lock into a dead platform at all. If you're somebody that loves Intel, LGA 1700 is the choice you should make. But the choice I will make for a lot of people is just going with AM4 if you're on a tight budget. It's great. It has a amazing upgrade path. I will always go AM4, recommend AM4 to anybody. So that's what you can do, guys can do. Let's go part by part and break down what's safe to buy, use, and what's not. First up on the list is graphics cards. Used graphics cards are great, only if they've been tested and are for mining rigs. Make sure you ask for benchmark results. Look for photos of the bare PCB. Make sure there's no burns, no corrosion, no bends, no anything. Avoid sellers that say it's untested or no returns. The no returns part it's not too crazy, but make sure if they say no returns, make sure that you have them tested and they send you video proof of it being tested and booting. All right. Next up, if it's cheap and sketchy, assume it's been mined 24/7. Now, this can be like hard to see because a lot of pre-built graphics cards like Dell and stuff like that look cheap, but those graphics cards are usually good. Usually the ones that's like bare backbone, that just look like it came from China, don't get those. Next up is RAM. RAM is super durable. If it boots and passes MemTest 86, is good. Just double check the voltage, frequency, and that it matches your board, and make sure that your board supports said voltage and frequency. Not the voltage per se, but the frequency. My bad. Next up, your SSD. Solid state storage are fine if it can check by smart data and make sure that it look fine. With SSDs, you can buy these brand new, but with use, you can find them good. Make sure they got good health. They power on. They still write. If you can't do a smart a scan, avoid it if the health is below 90% or has physical wear on it. Hard drives, don't get a used hard drive. Used hard drives are risky. Too many moving parts. Unless it's from a server grade drive with verified hours and health, just pass on it. AIO coolers, never buy AIO used cooler unless you can trust the person and you know it doesn't have leaks, the pump is degraded, or it has missing brackets. It's not worth the gamble. If you do find buy one used, make sure you know the history of the part. Buying used doesn't have to mean buying blindly. There's a right way to do this. Make sure you don't get ripped off or end up buying dead gear. Here's how you do it right and why these steps matter. Number 1, buy locally when you can. Meeting locally lets you see and test the part in person. That means no waiting, no shipping damage, and fewer surprises. You bring a laptop or a test bench set up so you can verify that the part boots, and meet in public place like a coffee shop, a library, or even a police station lobby if safety is a concern. Also, if you don't feel like doing all those extra things, just have them test it at their home and have them record the part working. For payment, use Cash, Zelle, Cash App, or Venmo in person only, and ask if they are fine with you testing the part before handing over the money. And if you're not testing it live, stick to something with buyer protection. Number 2, use buyer protection online and understand what that means. This applies when you're buying parts that are being shipped to you that are not for local face-to-face deals. Use platforms like eBay, which have solid return policies and distribute systems. eBay specifically is great because when you buy something from somebody, they don't get paid until you leave a review, and you leave a review and you say that the item is good. So if you say, oh, you know, this part is broken, and if it is, you have proof of it being broken, then you don't have to worry about fighting with this person to get your money back. You just get your money back because they haven't even got your money yet. So that's the breakdown, Tax and Tech crew. Buying used tech can be one of the smartest moves you can make in 2025 if you do it right. Motherboard combos, a solid one if you know what to look for. Power supplies, only with proper testing, or just skip them. And remember, always protect yourself when buying online and trust your gut when you feel something is off. If you found this video helpful, drop a like so we can keep bringing budget-friendly tips to the tech crew. Got questions about a used part or your eye? Hit the comment button and tell me what the part is about. I read them all. And if you're into custom builds or tech advice that doesn't waste your time or money, subscribe to this channel because we got more heat coming your way. I'll talk to you later, guys. I'll see you later. Peace.